Okay. My thing just cut off. Okay. Oh, so let's go back to what we were.
1869. The Constitution ordains that Congress shall have power to lay and collect taxes, duties, imposts, and exercise to pay the debt and provisions of the common defense and general welfare of the United States.
Now, remember now, slavery started when the Europeans came here. That's when slavery started. There was no such thing as slavery. When they ended up in Florida and then Atlanta, that's when slavery started for them. They enslaved their own people because they came here as criminals, so they enslaved them as indentured slaves. We're talking about Abraham Lincoln, Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Jefferson. They were all criminals supposed to have been executed on the 4th of July of 1776. Or actually, no, they were supposed to have been executed in 1775 when the British came over to execute them. So that means what he's saying is what was right. That not only is you're not supposed to have a bar association. It was never because a bunch of lawyers were just came in there as criminals. They came in there as criminals, and they just formed the shit out of thin air. So how can you accuse anybody of a crime who is indigenous? Then, like, you know what I'm saying? Like if we're indigenous, then we could never be criminals. That's my whole point. That's why I'm showing this man here. He's an attorney, professor. He's saying this is fraud. He actually had to look on his own self and actually see how the courts is actually frauds. Because a gingerbread man, a gingerbread Negro man, okay, and I already told you what gingerbread means. You know, this is the color of our skin is gingerbread colors. The root, the gold root of the tree root is gingerbread. Okay. If he is no longer a lawyer, he is a judge. Automatically, he's a judge. So the guy that we wrote to, Jamal Kersey, he will learn through this and through Donald Trump's letter here to the Treasury Department that the Treasury have to give back the gold and silver and the land that they stole. So the State Treasury Department with a Moorish man's name, you will see it. It's let me see if you can see this. Just look at this. Look at it closely. I don't even know if you can see. Okay, let's look at the whole email here. Okay, look at the whole email. Now look at that name right there. If you can see. Can you see how it? Okay. This name right here. That name. Oops, that's a Moor name that stole our stuff. Roger Allen Moore. Now, Roger Allen Moore. Okay. What that means is that Allen is Sookie Allen goes way back from 1800s. This is our great great grandparents, Sookie Allen and her father, John Allen. When we're talking about 1800s, we're talking about the original root of our people, in which the Moors came in and went to battle with us. When they killed us, they took our names. You understand? They took our names, Allen. Okay, and then they went in with the State Treasury Department and stole and went in with them. Okay, so what that means is that just because they look like you don't mean that they're you. Just like with the white race. The white race have to get rid of their worst race. This is why we have a problem in this country, because none of the good people ever got rid of the bad people. So you got rotten apples, and we just living around all of the rotten apples, and we didn't take care of them. And that's why the good people are dying. You have to have a cleansing. We never had a cleansing in America. There's always been European cleansings in Bulgaria, over in Russia and the Slavic areas because in the Bulgaria's area because they came out walking on all fours and grunting and everything. And then you can also see you know, you can just see the behaviors of people from children. When you see a child where these white people always cover up their children's conditions. Have you seen a child where, I don't know if they're autistic or something, but you'll see how they don't care. These little kids, they don't care. They'll just grab and put anything in their mouth. And this woman showed a clip of her child. She was kind of making fun of her kid, like showing how difficult her kid is, but kind of making it a meme. This child had a bowl. They were gonna cook some cookies. Whatever she put in the bowl, he was just grabbing and putting in his mouth, and she was trying to stop him from grabbing. This little boy was like 4 or 5, you know. And I'm talking about she put eggs in there, the raw eggs. He'll try to grab and put it in his mouth. Raw butter, just raw eggs, raw butter, and just put it in his mouth no matter what. She just tried. That's the kind of babies that's in the office right now. This is what I'm trying to tell you. She gave birth to a Neanderthal. What I'm talking about is this. There's levels of conditions of children that come out different. There's a severe level of what I just talked about, where no matter what, and you've seen this, every woman's seen this, where we've seen a child. I'm not talking about black children. I'm not talking about chicken nuggets. Chicken nuggets is different from a Neanderthal. A chicken nugget is what Cat Williams described, where Shaq O'Neal had some chicken nugget babies. And the only thing he can come out was like, chicken nugget. Because he just, his brain is, well, the Neanderthal white woman, Becky, when she gives birth to a chicken nugget, it's severe. It's so severe that even the gingerbread chicken nugget will look like, ooh, that's not right. You see what I'm saying? Because when you see this woman, they always hide their kids of this type of condition. This woman was trying to make some cookies with her son, who had this Neanderthal mind. Whenever she put things in the bowl, I'm trying to tell you, pay attention. He was grabbing it and putting it in his mouth raw. Raw eggs. A gingerbread chicken nugget would never do that. They would just be looking and be like, that's some nice eggs, mama. Hurry up and make them. Whatever. I'm just saying, just whatever. But what I'm saying is that there are levels of children that are born in this world. The European woman that had the boy that was grabbing and putting raw eggs in his mouth and was literally biting his mama's arm to get to them eggs. When she would crack it and put the flour, he'd dip his hands in the flour and put it in his mouth. And he's already full. This baby is already full. He's 4 years old, 3 years old, whatever. No baby does that. No child does that unless you are a Neanderthal baby. If you come out a pure white baby, Slavic, most likely you're going to come out like one of those babies. Well, what I'm trying to say is those babies are in office. They're terminators. They're terminators because they don't know nothing else. And white people label them as having autism or severe attention deficit. They don't talk. They don't say nothing. Look at these children I'm trying to tell you. They're white children. And they always in these programs and they don't talk. They just grab and put shit in their mouth, or they'll take the toys and take anybody's toys and play with it because they want to play with it. Whatever they want. I'm telling you, she cracked the egg in the bowl with the flour and the eggs and the butter. And she was holding the baby. He was 4. And he was just grabbing, putting it in his mouth. No black child would do that. Even a chicken nugget black child, a gingerbread child would not do that. We're not that severe. So my point is this, is that these white women covering up the conditions of what they give birth to. And if you don't cut it off at the root, okay, so you might say, well, you don't kill the baby. No, contain it though. Contain it and know that it can never be in office. It can never be a mailman. It can never be in office. It can never be around food because it'll poison you. It could never be in science, be in the medical industry because it'll kill you. It can't be a chef because it'll poison you. So you see what I'm saying? You see, these white women, They'll take care of these Neanderthal monster children, raise them up, and then put them in office. And now we all messed up because it's what they want to do. Well, guess what? Now there is a law that you can stand by and hold truth, that whenever a cop, anybody come to you, you have to hand them your citation, your land enforcement citation payment notice. That's what it is. Go look at my the poster magazines. I'm gonna leave a link, and I'm going to form it to where you can email. You can get them off the website. You can just download it and print it out, and then you can have a whole bunch of copies. Make T-shirts and say that I am your landlord. Say I am your landlord. Europe. You can say, attention, all Europeans in America. I am your landlord. You will be served the land citation payment notice soon. Either pay your bill or get off my land. That's it. That's what it is. It's all about paying your bill or get the fuck off my land. And that's called recompense. And so I'll send you, just email me and I'll leave you a link to the email that we discussed about our father. Oh, about our father being a pastor. I was really excited about that. Not because I'm religious. I'm not. I'm not religious by any means. But it's good to see somebody switch over and understand. Just like Martin Luther King, you see how he said, "Ooh, I think I led my people down a burning building." It's them. It's those pastors that need to understand that. Get your congregation together, because you're gonna have to switch sides. You led your people down a burning building. Shame on you. But now you know who the enemy is, and you have to recognize